Have you ever been drawn to something you knew you should avoid? Today, we dive into the story of a mirror that not only reflects but whispers invitations to uncover hidden secrets. Join us as we unravel mysteries that challenge the line between reality and the supernatural. Ready to look beyond the glass? The glass reflected more than just my face. It felt as if a dark presence was whispering from the other side, an irresistible invitation I couldn't ignore. Each time I looked, I felt a chill down my spine and an insatiable curiosity. What lay beyond that polished surface? Ghosts of the past? Kept secrets? The idea of crossing that portal consumed me. That night, the house was silent, but the voice of the reflection echoed in my mind. Come, discover. I hesitated, but something within me burned to know. What if there was more? What if what I found changed everything? The tension mounted, as if the mirror itself were pulsating, waiting for me to make a decision. Then, on a whim, I stepped forward. The room's light faded, and all that remained was a deep abyss. The sensation was one of being pulled, as if the mirror were alive, absorbing me. What awaited me on the other side? Mysteries that could not be unraveled, or truths I would prefer not to know. The line between the real and the supernatural blurred, and I was about to cross it. Reflection and self-knowledge. Sometimes, I stand before the mirror and ask myself, who am I, really? This practice of looking at my reflection is much more than a simple morning ritual. It's an invitation to reflect, a moment when I allow myself to uncover the layers that make up my identity. The mirror, for me, symbolizes this relentless quest for self-knowledge. Each glance is an opportunity to confront not only the image I see, but also the feelings, fears, and yearnings that lie behind it. In this process of introspection, I realize that the mirror reveals not only who I am, but also who I would like to be. It's a powerful metaphor. The reflection is a constant reminder that self-image is shaped by our experiences and perceptions. When I look at myself, I see the marks of time, the scars of battles fought, and at the same time, the hopes I still nurture. This duality between who I was and who I wish to be drives me to seek change and understand that self-knowledge is a path filled with twists and turns. The journey of self-discovery is not linear. Often, I encounter parts of myself I would prefer to ignore. It's as if the mirror has the power to expose not only my virtues, but also my vulnerabilities. Through this process, I have learned to accept my imperfections. After all, who hasn't looked in the mirror and felt a mix of love and criticism? This internal dialogue, no matter how uncomfortable, is essential for my personal growth. Understanding that I am a work in constant progress gives me the freedom to err and learn. Reflecting on myself also leads me to question my choices and values. The mirror, then, becomes an ally in the quest for authenticity. As I delve deeper into this process, I realize that self-knowledge is not a destination but a continuous journey. Each new discovery brings me closer to what truly matters, the essence of who I am. This recognition is liberating, as it allows me to live more fully and consciously. Ultimately, reflection in front of the mirror is a dance between light and shadow. It is in this oscillation that I find one of life's greatest truths. We are complex, multifaceted beings, and what we see in the reflection is only a part of the whole. By embracing this complexity, I open up space for a deeper and more genuine self-knowledge, where every aspect of me deserves to be seen and accepted. Duality and identity. The duality between the inner self and the outer self is a theme that has always fascinated me. I believe that, in many moments, we are like two sides of a coin. There is what we show to the world, that persona shaped by social expectations, and there is what we truly feel inside, a tangle of thoughts and emotions that we cannot always share. This duality makes me reflect on the complexity of human identity. Who am I if I am not just what others see? When I confront this question, I realize that the way I see myself can be very different from the image others have of me. Sometimes, I feel like an actor on a stage, playing a role that doesn't completely align with my essence. This discrepancy can be distressing, but it is also an opportunity to understand that identity is not a fixed concept. It molds and transforms over time, with the experiences we live and the relationships we cultivate. Society often imposes labels and categories that attempt to define who we are. However, this attempt at simplification does not take into account the richness of our internal experience. The duality I experience makes me question these definitions. Am I only what I externalize? Or is there a vast universe within me that cries out to be recognized? It is in this space of questioning that I begin to accept that my identity is, in fact, a mosaic of intertwined parts, each bringing its own contribution. Understanding this duality is an important step towards self-acceptance. By recognizing that I am a multifaceted being, I begin to free myself from the constraints that society tries to impose on me. This gives me a new perspective on how I relate to others and how I perceive myself. Identity is not a shirt that one puts on and takes off. It is a skin that adapts and transforms according to circumstances. The dance between the inner self and the outer self makes me realize that I am not alone on this journey. We all navigate these turbulent waters of duality, trying to find a balance between being authentic and fitting into others' expectations. This shared quest for understanding and acceptance is what makes us human. In the end, true identity reveals itself not in the struggle between these two sides, but in the harmony we can create between them. Consequences of curiosity. Curiosity has always been a driving force in my life. Since I was a child, I remember asking myself about everything. Why is the sky blue? How do the stars appear at night? What happens when we close our eyes to sleep? This relentless search for answers has taken me to unexpected places and experiences that have shaped who I am. However, over time, I realized that curiosity also carries a weight of consequences that we often do not consider. When I decided to explore the unknown, I faced challenges that tested my courage and determination. Every choice I made, every door I opened, brought with it a new lesson, but also a new responsibility. Curiosity, while an invitation to adventure, can lead to paths we never imagined and often confront us with truths we would prefer to ignore. This tension between exploring and facing the consequences is part of what makes the human experience so rich and complex. Reflecting on my impulsive decisions, I recognize that curiosity has a dark side. It can lead me to situations that demand more from me than I am willing to give. Sometimes, the quest for knowledge and new experiences results in pain and regret. Yet, even in those challenging moments, I have found invaluable worth in every experience. After all, it is from mistakes and difficulties that I have grown and learned. Curiosity has also taught me about limits. As I ventured into new territories, I learned to respect the unknown and understand that not everything needs to be explored. Some things are better left untouched. This wisdom acquired over time helps me discern when to push forward and when to pull back. Sometimes, true courage lies in knowing when to stop. In the end, curiosity is a double-edged sword. It can open doors to new opportunities and experiences, but it can also lead me to confront uncomfortable truths and unwanted consequences. The beauty of this journey lies in the ability to learn from each step, in understanding that curiosity is essential for growth, but must be accompanied by a healthy dose of reflection and wisdom. The world of the unconscious. When I look in the mirror, I often wonder what I really see reflected there. It is not just my face or my appearance that presents itself. There is something deeper, something that touches the unconscious. The mirror, in this sense, becomes a gateway to a world we often prefer to ignore. It is curious to think that by confronting our image, we may inadvertently confront fears and desires that remain hidden in the shadows of our minds. In moments when I allow myself to dive into this space, I realize that the mirror reflects not only what I am, but also what I wish to be. It is a confrontation between reality and idealization. What I see may be an invitation to explore aspects of myself that are buried beneath layers of insecurity and self-criticism. These aspects are like shadows that manifest as fears or repressed desires. And by looking at them, I feel a mix of fear and curiosity. What might I find if I allow myself to go beyond the surface? Sometimes, I encounter memories I wish to forget. The mirror can be cruel, bringing forth experiences that have left scars. But these scars are part of my story. They have shaped who I am. By acknowledging these hidden aspects, I realize that, in a way, they also set me free. Awareness of what is concealed gives me a new perspective, a new understanding of my own identity. It is as if, by illuminating these shadows, I can finally accept the entirety of my being. Furthermore, the unconscious is also a space of unfulfilled desires. How many times have I caught myself daydreaming, imagining realities that seem distant? The mirror, in this context, becomes a reflection of my deepest aspirations. It challenges me to look at what I truly want, even if it means stepping out of my comfort zone. It is an invitation to explore the unknown and, perhaps, find new paths that once seemed impossible. Finally, this relationship with the unconscious is a continuous journey. It is not a single experience, but a process of self-discovery that unfolds over time. When I look into the mirror, I am challenged to confront not only what is visible, but also what lies hidden in the depths of my being. And with each new reflection, there is the opportunity to understand that the unconscious is not an enemy, but an ally in the quest for a more authentic and meaningful life. Attraction to the unknown. The attraction to the unknown is undoubtedly a deeply rooted characteristic of human nature. I have often found myself fascinated by situations that, at first glance, seemed risky or even terrifying. This insatiable curiosity drives us to explore new horizons, step out of our routines, and embark on adventures. What propels us in this direction is an almost primal urge, a need to discover what lies beyond the familiar. When I allow myself to explore the unknown, I feel a mix of excitement and fear. It's as if I am standing on the edge of a precipice, ready to jump into uncharted waters. This impulse is not just about seeking new experiences. It is also a form of self-knowledge. Through these experiences, I learn more about myself, my limits, and what I truly value. Each new adventure is an opportunity for growth, a chance to reinvent myself. The psychology behind this attraction is fascinating. The pursuit of the unknown can be seen as a way to escape routine, to break the chains that bind us to conformity. When I venture into unknown territory, I feel that I am, in a way, reaffirming my freedom. Life becomes more vibrant and full of possibilities. This quest for adrenaline and novelty is often a reflection of our dissatisfaction with what we already know. It's as if monotony pushes us to seek something that makes us feel alive. However, the attraction to the unknown also brings its challenges. Sometimes, what we encounter can be disconcerting or even painful. As I venture into new territories, I have faced realities I was not prepared to confront. Yet, even these difficult experiences have their value. Each obstacle transforms into a lesson, and when I look back, I realize that it was these moments that truly shaped my journey. Pain and joy coexist, and both are essential for my growth. Ultimately, the attraction to the unknown is an invitation to adventure, a reminder that life is meant to be explored. By allowing myself to embrace this uncertainty, I discover not only the world around me, but also the deeper aspects of myself. Each step toward the unknown is an opportunity for transformation, a chance to connect with the essence of my humanity. And as I continue to explore, I realize that the unknown is not a place of fear, but rather a vast field of possibilities waiting to be uncovered. Transformation and personal growth. When I look in the mirror, I often see not just my reflection, but also a representation of all my experiences, fears, and victories. The truth is that each time I set out to look at the other side of the mirror, it feels as if I am stripping naked before myself. This experience of introspection is challenging, but it is precisely where the potential for transformation lies. By facing what is hidden beneath the surface, I discover parts of myself that I didn't even know existed. Sometimes it can be intriguing, other times painful, but it is undoubtedly always revealing. One of the greatest challenges of this journey is accepting the imperfections I see reflected back at me. The mirror does not lie. It shows the true essence of who I am. The first reaction may be one of rejection, a desire to shy away from what I do not like. However, this denial only perpetuates the disconnection between who I am and who I want to be. Transformation occurs when I decide to embrace these imperfections, understanding that they are part of my story. Every scar, every failure, every success contributes to my personal growth. It is a process of acceptance that, while painful, is necessary to move forward. Moreover, the act of looking at the other side of the mirror allows me to revisit memories and experiences that might otherwise be forgotten. By revisiting important moments in my life, I reclaim not only the mistakes made, but also the lessons learned. This reflection helps me understand how certain experiences have shaped my identity and how I can use that knowledge to move forward. It's like writing my own book, where each chapter is a new opportunity to learn and grow. Transformation is not just about change. It is also about understanding and integrating all the facets of who I am. Over time, I realized that this process of looking inward is not an isolated event, but a continuous practice. It is essential to cultivate this willingness for self-analysis, especially in times of crisis or transition. Often, life leads me into unexpected situations that require a re-evaluation of my values and priorities. When I allow myself to pause and look at what is reflected in the mirror, I am able to adapt my path, aligning it with my true desires and aspirations. This flexibility is essential for my growth, as it allows me to transform challenges into opportunities. Finally, transformation and personal growth are undoubtedly complex and multifaceted processes. Sometimes I feel like I'm going in circles, but looking back, I realize that each step has led me to a new level of understanding. The mirror becomes a valuable ally in this journey, not only reflecting who I am, but also challenging me to be more. Every time I face that reflective surface, I have the chance to be reborn, to reinvent myself, and to become a more authentic version of myself. Personal growth is not a destination, but a constant walk toward my best self. As I gazed at that reflection, the feeling that something was about to happen consumed me. The other side of the mirror seemed to pulse, almost as if it had a life of its own. I knew I should step back, but curiosity was stronger. What could be waiting on the other side? Would it be a doorway to a parallel world, or something much darker? With each step I took toward the glass, the atmosphere around me shifted. The sounds of my home faded away, and for a moment, all that existed was that distorted reflection. What did I see? A glimpse of another reality? A warning? That call grew stronger, as if something wanted to break free. And now, I ask you, have you ever felt drawn to something you should avoid? What would you do if you saw your own reflection acting strangely? Curiosity can be a dangerous door, but who can resist the unknown? Stay tuned, because the story doesn't end here. What else will be revealed when we cross the line between the familiar and the terrifying? This fascinating narrative, woven between the reflections of a mysterious mirror and the internal journey of self-discovery, leads us to question not only what we see, but what we feel and who we truly are. If you found yourself captivated by the blend of deep introspection and supernatural mysteries, and if the inquiries about identity and the duality of human existence resonated with you, then I urge you, don't let this moment pass. Click like if this account stirred something in you, and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss future explorations of the unknown waiting on the other side of the mirror. Join this community that embraces both the shadows and the lights of our existence. Comment below with your own experience with reflection, whether literal or metaphorical, and share how you confront internal dualities and the mysteries of life. Join us on the ongoing journey through the mirror, where each revelation is a step towards self-knowledge and each shadow faced is a light in understanding who we truly are. Until the next video, keep reflecting, exploring, and discovering.